Hey guys, Colin here, and wanted to answer a question that was sent to me privately from one of our Forex Made Simple Club members. And that question was, why is it that on some screens we will see people that make multiple trades on the same pair versus just taking one trade and leaving it all the way down? In a perfect example, let's talk about this pair that we were dealing with over the past week, right? Euro, Australian dollar. Now, I told everybody to take the sell position somewhere up here, right up at the top. Now, if you had taken that position, you could have left it alone, and pretty much over the course of about 4 or 5 days, rode this all the way down from 165.8 to 162.7. I mean, that's like 300 pips, right? So you could have rode that down the whole way with just one trade. But when you see people that actually take multiple trades on the same pair going all the way down, that all depends on the person's trading style. So someone who makes a single trade and is looking to, pretty much make a trade, anywhere between 50 to 150, 200 pips, those are known as swing traders, right? Swing traders, they'll make one entry and they expect to exit that trade maybe in about a few days, anywhere from a couple of days to a week, okay? That's one strategy. Then people who trade more frequently and are looking for anywhere between 10 to 50 pips are known as day traders. And the day traders, and if you'll notice my style, I'm probably a bit more of a day trader, but I'm a mix between a day trader and a swing trader. So the swing traders will look at bigger time frames. We will look at the 4 hour time frame. We'll also look at the daily time frame, and we look at the 1 hour time frame. Okay. Now, people who want to make a lot more entries and exits, let's look at the science behind the madness, right? So here's a very simple example. Now, if we look at this from the top here all the way down here, you get about 300 pips. However, for people who are doing day trading, day traders look to get into a trade and out of a trade within the same day, right? It can be anywhere from a few minutes to a few hours, but that's pretty much, quick entry, quick exit. And they'll do that multiple times. So let's see a very perfect example of how a day trader may have looked at this and said, okay, I'm going to enter this trade here and I am going to exit the trade when it reaches down. Okay, of course, excuse this siren happening there. I'm not sure what's going on. All right, cool. So a day trader will say, I'm going to enter this trade, I'm going to exit when it hits the 50 moving average, because I know that normally there's a bounce there. Okay, so they will exit the trade and they will make about 65,818, 64,7. So that's almost 100 pips right there. Okay, that's 100. Think about it. All the way down, 300 pips. Right here, 100 pips. Now, they'll exit the trade because they're expecting a bounce. Now, the big picture is we know that this pair is going to go all the way back down. We know that. So when it bounces and it comes back up here, then a day trader will say, okay, I'm going to take my another sell position here again, because now I'm expecting it to go down to the 100 moving average. So they'll take their trade here, another sell order, 65.4, ride it down till it comes down here, 64.4. That's another 100 pips. So the day trader has now made two trades, okay, within a day, and they've pretty much made they've been able to profit on 200 pips. The person who is a swing trader is still in that same single trade, and they would have entered here, and by this point they are at, let's see, 65.8, 64.4. So they've made maybe 140 pips. The day trader has now made 200 pips in the same time frame. Okay, so now the day trader is going to say again, okay, I'm coming out of this trade right here because I'm expecting a little bounce. And they do that, and then when it comes back up towards this way, they say, okay, I'm getting into the sell again. Obviously, this style of trading is much more risky, and you have to make sure again that you are trading with the appropriate lot sizes, because if this ends up running up a bit more than you had planned, you don't want it to kick you out of the trade and you lose your money, right? So everything within reason. But now that day trader gets in again right here, 64.8, and they're going to ride it down till it comes, somewhere down here, right? 63.7. That's another 100 pips. So by this point in time, the day trader has now gotten about 300 pips. Okay, they may have taken a bounce right here, and if they get back in up here, 64.1, and they ride it down here, 62.7, that's another 100. So the day trader on their way down, they do a lot of entries and exits. Okay, and they will end up getting maybe 400 pips down here, whereas a swing trader, they would have stayed in that single trade, and they're patient, and there's no problem with it. Each style is all depending on the person, the type of person that you are. Okay, so don't get into something that is going to really have you stressed out. Go with a trading style that you feel much more comfortable with doing. But that is why you will see some people will have multiple exits and entries for the same pair in a day, whereas some people have a single trade that works